Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with amazing physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, wages a never-ending battle for truth and justice. Today, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, makes use of his extraordinary vision at the Metropolis Airport to discover something that spells bad news for girl reporter Lois Lane.
Look, Clark, there comes the Clipper.
I see it, Lois.
My sister Diana's on that plane. I can hardly wait to see her.
Oh, I know. Uh-oh, something's wrong.
Wrong? What do you mean?
You better pull yourself together, Lois, and get set for a shock.
A fellow once told me, gang, about a crooked carnival he went to where a carnival peddler, or pitchman as they're called, was offering beautiful prizes to anyone who played his game. Now, this game consisted of 3 walnut shells and a single dried pea. For $1 a chance, he let my friend guess under which shell he hid the pea. And if my friend was right, pitchman would pay $5. Well, it looked easy. But my friend almost lost his shirt. Because although he didn't know it, the shell game is just about the oldest sucker bait in the world. You see, it's all done by sleight of hand. The pitchman never lets that dried pea out of his fingers. His shell game is strictly for suckers. Now, it should interest you to know that apart from carnivals, you'll find certain phony balonies in public life, sometimes trying a shell game of their own. We call such men demagogues, which is another word for political windbags. They offer hatred as their bait. Vote for me, they bellow. I got a good way to improve things. Throw out the foreigners, they scream. Down with this or that minority group, they shriek. Blame your troubles on the other fellow, they whine. And you know something? Sometimes people actually fall for this spiel. Yes, the German people did under Hitler. They swallowed a lot of fancy pitchman's abracadabra, and when they woke up, they found that Hitler and his gang had swiped their shirts. But here in the USA, it's different. Most of us hate to be played for suckers. We know that demagogues who preach bigotry do not have honest prizes to offer. We know their talk's as empty as the shells in a shell game. And if we don't know, we should. How about you? Can you be taken in by the demagogue pitchman's fast talk?
And now, the adventures of Superman. Several days have gone by since Cub reporter Jimmy Olsen's exciting experience with the bogus genie, from which he was rescued by Superman. Now, Jimmy is away on his vacation, and neither Superman, who masquerades as Clark Kent, nor Lois Lane, the girl reporter, are aware that they are on the brink of an amazing adventure as they breakfast together in the lobby restaurant of the Daily Planet building.
How about some more coffee, Lois?
Oh, no thanks, Clark. I've had 2.
Well, what happened then?
Oh, well, then I told the chief that if he thinks I'm going to
Oh, wait a minute, Lois.
What's the matter, Clark?
Beanie's looking for you.
Oh, Beanie Martin?
Uh-huh, here he comes. Seems to be in a hurry.
Miss Lane,
Yes, Beanie, what is
this
it?
cable just came for you.
Cable?
Yeah, just arrived. I thought I'd better bring it right down because it might be important.
Oh, that was very thoughtful,
Oh, I
Beanie.
wonder who's
Thank you.
cabling me.
Why don't you open the envelope and find out?
I intend to. Oh, thanks very much, Beanie.
You're welcome. I gotta get back up to the city room. I'll be seeing you.
Okay. Who's the cable from, Lois?
Let's see. Why, it's from Diana.
Your sister?
Yes, she and her dancing partner are on a professional tour of Europe, you know.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, what does she have
Listen
to
to
say?
this, Clark. Arriving Metropolis Monday, August 16th, 10:30 a.m. Monday, August 16th?
That's today.
Yes. That's odd.
Why?
Because she had dancing engagements in London and Paris and Vienna and wasn't due back until Christmas.
Oh? Does she give any reason for the change in her
Let's see.
plans?
Please meet me. Has sensational story for you. Love, Diana.
Sensational story, eh? That sounds interesting.
Yes, but I still don't understand it, Clark.
Why?
Well, she's been getting rave notices from the press, and I can't believe she'd break up her tour just to bring me a story. She could cable it or write it or anything.
Yes, I suppose she could,
There's
but she'd
something
probably...
awfully strange about this, Clark.
Well, if there is, Diana will tell you all about it when you see her, so there's no use in your beating your brains out trying to guess.
I suppose not. Just the
Hey,
same.
wait, it's 5 after 10. You'll have to rush to be at the airport by 10:30.
Oh, dear, how can I ever
My
make...
car's outside. I'll drive you. Come on, Lois.
Look, Clark, here comes the Clipper.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to see Diana.
Yeah, I want to see her, too, and hear the terrific story she said she... Hey, what the...
What's the matter, Clark?
Well, Diana...
Well, what about Diana?
Well, she... You better get set for a surprise, Lois.
A surprise? What are you talking about?
The Clipper's coming down. You'll find out in just a moment.
Everyone seems to be off the Clipper, but I don't see Diana. I wonder where
She
she...
wasn't on the plane, Lois.
What?
That's right.
But she cabled she was taking the Clipper.
I know, but
Here
she
comes
was-
the stewardess. I'll ask her.
Okay, suit yourself.
Oh, stewardess. Yes, ma'am? Are all the passengers off the plane?
Why, yes, they are.
Well, then where's my sister, Diana Lane? You see, she cabled me she was taking...
Diana Lane?
Yes, that's right.
She wasn't on this flight, miss.
But I don't understand.
Would you know she canceled her reservation, stewardess?
Well, yes, I think so. Let me check my report.
Please.
I don't like this, Clark.
Oh, relax, Lois.
Yes, here it is. Miss Diana Lane did have a reservation for this flight. It was made from Paris.
Yes, that's right. She cabled me from Paris.
But she didn't appear at the airport yesterday morning, so at flight time her reservation was sold to somebody else.
She didn't appear?
That's correct.
And she sent no notice of cancellation?
No, sir.
That's strange.
I've got to make a report to the flight office now, so if you'll excuse
Oh,
me.
certainly. Thanks very much.
You're quite welcome.
Oh, Clark, now I know something must be wrong with Diana.
Now, take it easy, Lois. She was undoubtedly delayed for some very good reason.
But she would have notified me if that were so.
Okay, chances are there's another cable for you at the office right now. Come on, we'll find out.
Hey, Miss
Oh,
Lane.
Beanie.
There's somebody...
Beanie, do you know if another cable came for me?
No, Miss Lane, I didn't see any, but somebody's trying to phone you from Paris, France.
From Paris?
Probably Diana.
Oh, dear.
You're supposed to call the transatlantic phone operator as soon as you come in.
All right, Beanie, I'll do it right now.
Wait, I'll go with you.
No, Mr. White just called, Mr. Kent. He wants you to come down to City Hall right away.
City Hall.
Uh-huh. Something important happened, he said.
Oh? Well, you go ahead and make your call, Lois. I'll hop over to City Hall and be back as soon as I can. I want to know about Diana.
So do I. If only this call is from her. Yes, this is Lois Lane speaking. Will you put Paris on, please?
Hello?
Hello, Diana?
Lois?
Yes, how are you, darling?
Well,
What's happened? Why weren't you on the Clipper?
Oh, the strangest things have been happening, Lois. I'm frightened.
What do you mean?
I'm afraid to talk about it.
Afraid?
On the phone, I mean.
Oh, nonsense.
Listen, Lois, could you possibly come over here right away?
You mean to Paris?
Yes. Yes, I think I'm in danger, and I
Well,
need
what danger? If you'd only tell me what you're talking about,
I
could...
can't tell you over the phone, Lois. Please join me here.
But,
If
Diana...
you took the Clipper today, you could be here tomorrow.
I know, honey, but I have to get time off, and I
Oh,
can't...
do it, please do it. I'm terribly frightened, Lois, and I'm all alone. Please say you'll come.
Well, oh, all right, Diana.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wait a minute. What's your address in Paris?
It's 13 Rue Saint-Germain.
13 Rue Saint-Germain.
Yes, it's a small pension.
Yes?
Oh, Lois, don't fail me. I don't know what to do.
Just sit tight, darling. I'll wangle the reservation on the Clipper somehow, and I'll be with you tomorrow. Now, don't do a thing until I get there.
Puzzled and deeply concerned, reporter Lois Lane prepares to leave for Paris. What's going on there? We'll know more in a moment when we return with the startling climax of today's episode, so keep listening. And now, back to the adventures of Superman. Concerned about her sister Diana, Lois Lane flew by Clipper to Lisbon, Portugal, and from there by another plane to Paris. As we join her now, she is at 13 Rue Saint-Germain. the address given her by Diana, where an elderly porter concierge of the rooming house leads her up two dimly lit flights of stairs.
Forgive me, mademoiselle. These stairs are, for an old man, difficult.
Yes, of course. Tell me, where is my sister's room?
It is the front suite. Come, I will escort you.
Thank you. You're sure she's at home?
Ah, oui. The outer door is locked after 10 o'clock, and it is necessary to awaken me, as you know, if one wishes to leave or enter the house. This your sister has not done.
I see.
Ah, here is her suite. I will knock.
She must be asleep. Knock again, please, will you?
Oui. She sleeps soundly, that one.
Funny, she never used to. She'd wake up at the least noise. Maybe if I rattled the doorknob a little... Why, the door's unlocked.
Oui. And the mademoiselle neglected to turn off the light.
Good heavens! What's happened here?
What is this? All the furniture overturned, the lamps broken.
Well, there must have been a fight or something. Quickly, where's the bedroom?
Right here, mademoiselle. This door. The lights still burn here, too.
Diana! Diana, where are you?
She is not here, mademoiselle. There is no one here.
Good heavens, where is she? What's happened to her?
Her face pale, Lois Lane stares from the empty bedroom to the deserted sitting room, where the overturned chairs and heaped-up rugs give mute evidence of a violent struggle. What has happened to Lois's only sister? What was the sensational story she had to tell? And of what was she afraid? This is the beginning of a new and exciting Superman adventure, fellows and girls, that's chock full of thrills and baffling mystery. You won't want to miss a single episode, so be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for Chapter 2 of The Mystery of the Letter on The Adventures of Superman. Today at the Daily Planet, a switchboard operator gives Clark Kent a message which sends him leaping into action as Superman.
Miss Lane phoned while you were out, Mr. Kent, from Paris.
From Paris?
Yeah, she sent for me to tell you something terrible has happened.
What?
Yeah, she said she's at, let's see now. Oh, yeah, 13 Rue Saint-Germain.
13 Rue Saint-Germain?
That's right. You're to contact her there. She sounded awfully upset. I never heard her like that before.
Okay. I'll take care of it. Thanks very much. I'm afraid this is a job for Superman. Better get over there fast. There we are. All set. Now, up, and away!
And now, the adventures of Superman. When Lois Lane's sister Diana telephoned from Paris, France, and said she was in great danger and flew to Paris. But when she arrived at the little rooming house where Diana, a professional dancer, was staying, she found the furniture overturned and evidence of and Diana was mysteriously missing. Lois called the police and then put through a transatlantic phone call for Clark Kent in Metropolis, who, resuming his true identity of Superman, rocketed across the ocean to Paris. And now, once more, in his guise of the mild-mannered, bespectacled reporter, Kent knocks at Diana's door.
Hello, Lois.
Why, Clark.
Surprised?
Wait, it can't be you.
Oh, of course it is. May I come in?
But I spoke to the Daily Planet only a few minutes ago. You couldn't have come all the way here from Metropolis in a few minutes. You just couldn't.
Well, you see, Lois, you left Metropolis yesterday, you know.
I know,
and you left word you were flying to Paris.
Oh, you mean you got on another plane yesterday and followed me here?
Well, what difference does it make how I got here? I'm here. Now, please tell me what's going on.
Oh, Clark, I'm terribly worried.
Why? Great Scott, what happened to this place?
Yes, this is just the way I found it, Clark. The furniture overturned and And Diana gone.
Gone? Where?
I don't know where, but I'm sure something terrible must have happened
wait
to her.
a minute. You don't
she
know
She told me she was in great danger, and when
She
I got
did?
here-
When?
Yesterday morning when she phoned me. She said strange things were happening that she didn't understand, and she was in danger. She begged me to come to Paris, but when I arrived a little while ago, she...
You folks and Diana gone?
Yes. Oh, Clark, what'll I do?
Well, now, wait. The first thing to do is pull yourself together.
Well, that's easy to say.
Wait a minute. There are two men in the next room. Who are they?
One is Captain Duloc from the police department, and the other is Jean le Concierge, the superintendent of the house.
Oh, I see.
Mademoiselle Lane, I wish to ask you, who is this man?
Oh, this is Clark Kent, Captain. He's a reporter on the Metropolis Daily Planet, too.
Ah, a pleasure, monsieur.
Look, Captain, have you found out anything about my sister?
No, I have not yet found out what happened to her, mademoiselle.
Oh, dear.
But the concierge here tells me that your sister had a visitor this evening.
Oh, oui, a young man.
A young man with whom your sister quarreled very bitterly.
Really? Well, what...
It is a good thing my other tenants were not at home, or I would have had complaints.
What did they quarrel about, do you know?
No, monsieur, I do not know. They spoke so swiftly and in English, and I was downstairs.
Oh.
But the young man was in a great rage. That I can tell you.
Good heavens, why
Do you
didn't
know who this
do
man was?
No, monsieur, I have never seen him before.
What did he look like?
I saw him for a moment only, mon capitaine. It was when he arrived. Tall, handsome, that is all I remember.
Well, was he dark or light?
Let me think. His hair was the color of ripe wheat, and that was wavy.
Ah,
Tall, handsome, light, wavy hair, and he spoke English, you say?
Oui, monsieur. Like an American, he spoke.
Uh-huh. Well, that description mean anything to you, Lois?
No. Wait a minute.
What?
Yes. Yes, it does, Clark. It sounds like Raymond.
oh, mademoiselle.
Raymond, I forget his last name. He's Diana's dancing partner. They call themselves Diana and Raymond.
Oh, I see.
I only met him once, and I can't say I liked him very much. He seemed, well, sort of moody and sullen.
Oh?
But I'm sure he wouldn't hurt Diana. After all, they were partners. And besides, I think he was in love with her.
Ah, a lover's quarrel.
No. Diana wasn't in love with him.
Say, there must be billboard pictures of them or newspaper photographs.
Oh, of course.
Look, Captain Dulac, if Jean here saw a photograph of Raymond, maybe he could identify him as the young man who...
An excellent idea, Monsieur Kent. We will all proceed to a newspaper office at once. Allons. This is Le Matin of last Sunday.
There, look.
Voilà. A photograph for Diana and Raymond. Behold, Jean. Is this the man who called on Mademoiselle Diana this evening?
Oui, he is the one, mon capitaine.
Ah.
Oh, we're getting someplace.
But I tell you, Clark, I don't think Raymond had anything to do with whatever happened to Diana.
You can't be sure, Lois.
But look.
Mademoiselle, you will please return to your sister's apartment with Jean. Monsieur Kent, you and I will proceed to look for Picture de Gendarme.
Good.
In a short time, I promise you we will locate this Monsieur Raymond. And undoubtedly, Mademoiselle Diana, too.
Fine, Captain. Let's go. Well, Captain Dulac, what have you learned?
I have learned, Monsieur Kent, that Raymond departed from his hotel but 1 hour ago with his luggage.
Checked out, eh?
Oui.
Anyone know where he went?
He took a taxi cab to the airport.
The airport.
Oui. He undoubtedly flees.
Well, come on, then. Let's get down there and stop him.
I am sorry, Captain Dulac, but the plane bearing this Monsieur Raymond departed 3/4 of an hour ago.
You are certain?
Oh, oui. It was a chartered plane which was awaiting him.
A chartered plane?
Oui, monsieur.
Was he alone?
No, monsieur. A young lady accompanied him, a very beautiful young lady.
What?
He says Monsieur Raymond was accompanied by a
Yes, I know what he said. Look, this young lady, can you describe her?
Ah, oui. Slender she was. Not too tall, dark hair.
That could be Diana.
Undoubtedly it was Miss Lane. So now our case comes to an end, eh?
What do you mean?
It is as I said before. Mademoiselle Diana and Monsieur Raymond loved each other. They had a quarrel. But now they compose their differences and fly away together. Ah. L'amour.
Oh, no. You're wrong, Captain Dulac. First, Diana was not in love with Raymond. Second, she knew her sister Lois was on the way to Paris.
But, monsieur...
So she would not have left before Lois arrived. Not willingly, that is.
But l'amour, monsieur. when one is caught by Cupid...
Oh, nonsense. Diana told Lois she was in great danger, and the condition of her apartment bears her out.
Oui, that is true, Monsieur, but...
If Diana did leave in that plane with Raymond, something is very wrong. And if it isn't Diana, well, Raymond may know what happened to her. So I'm going after that plane.
After the plane? How can you do that?
Well, I have ways. Tell me, monsieur, you know where Raymond's plane was bound?
The clearance paper said for Madrid.
Madrid? Okay, thanks. I'll see you later, Captain Dulac.
But where do you go, Monsieur? Monsieur, listen to me.
Behind this hangar here. Raymond's plane left about an hour ago. If he is headed for Madrid, it won't take long for Superman to catch up with him. There we are. I'm all set. Up, and away!
Leaping up from the Paris airport, Superman takes a quick bearing from the stars and rockets away to the south in pursuit of Raymond's plane. We'll be back in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode. So keep listening. And now, back to the adventures of Superman. While Superman was pursuing Raymond, Lois Lane, exhausted and worried, had fallen asleep in a chair in the missing Diana's sitting room. A slight noise at the door causes her to twitch restlessly, but she does not awaken, nor does she stir when the door opens softly and then closes. But suddenly, a moment later, a closer sound, or perhaps a sixth sense, causes the girl reporter to open her eyes, and then she sits bolt upright, a scream choking in her throat. A man, his coat collar turned up, a mask covering his face, crouches but a foot away. In his hand, he holds a revolver, which he points at Lois. And as Lois opens her mouth to yell, the man speaks.
Do not make a sound, mademoiselle, or you will die.
Stifling the scream on her lips, the girl reporter sits as if frozen, watching the masked man approach. Who is this man? What is this strange mystery which caused Diana to summon her sister to Paris, and then apparently resulted in the strange disappearance of the young dancer? Is she in the plane which Superman is even now pursuing? Fellows and girls, the mystery and the danger grow even deeper tomorrow. So be sure to listen. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for Chapter 3 of The Secret of the Letter on The Adventures of Superman. Today, while Superman is searching for Lois Lane's missing sister Diana, the girl reporter, completely exhausted, has fallen asleep while seated in the living room of her sister's apartment. A slight noise at the door causes her to twitch restlessly, but she doesn't awaken, nor does she stir when the door opens softly and then closes. But suddenly, a moment later, a closer sound, or perhaps instinct, causes Lois to open her eyes. Then she bolts upright, a scream choking in her throat. For a man, his coat collar turned up and a mask covering his face, crouches but a foot away, and in his hand he holds a revolver pointed at her heart. Before the girl reporter can gather herself to scream, the man speaks.
Do not make a sound, mademoiselle, or you will die.
And now, the adventures of Superman. When Lois Lane's sister Diana, a professional dancer, disappeared mysteriously from her apartment in Paris, Clark Kent, who, unknown to all, is Superman, streaked to Paris to aid Lois in the search for her sister. Learning that Diana had quarreled bitterly that night with Raymond, her dancing partner, and that Raymond had then left for Madrid in a chartered plane, Superman took to the air in pursuit. Meanwhile, in Diana's apartment, Lois awoke suddenly to find herself menaced by a masked man with a gun. And before she could overcome the temporary paralysis of shock to cry out for help, the man pointed his gun at her heart and said,
Do not make a sound, mademoiselle, or you will die.
Now, unaware of Lois's peril, Superman is streaking through the night skies in pursuit of Raymond's plane. Suddenly, as he rockets above the Pyrenees Mountains that are the border between France and Spain, he sights a two-motored transport plane.
That's the plane I want. Down to it. Down!
Flashing down to the speeding plane, Superman wrenches open the passenger's door and leaps inside. Except for the pilot and co-pilot, who are in the cockpit behind a closed door, only two persons are in the plane. The tall, light-haired young man and a dark-haired young woman, each asleep in their seats on opposite sides of the aisle. After a glance at the girl, Superman taps the young man on the shoulder.
Wake up, Raymond.
What?
Wake up. I want to talk to you.
Hey, great snakes. Who are you?
Superman.
Superman?
That's right.
Well, where'd you come from? How'd you get
I
here?
came from Paris to see you.
Are you really Superman, or am I dreaming?
You're not dreaming. I thought Diana Lane might be on this plane with you, but that girl across the aisle is not she, so you tell me. Where is Diana?
Diana? Why, she's in Paris.
Where in Paris?
Why, in her apartment, I guess.
No, she isn't.
Now, look, what's this all about?
Diana has disappeared.
Disappeared?
That's right. What do you know about it?
I don't know anything. How could I?
You called on her early this evening, didn't you?
Why, yes.
And you quarreled with her? You threatened her?
Yes, I mean no.
Don't lie, you were overheard.
Well, if I did, it didn't mean anything. I was pretty sore.
Why were you angry with her?
Because, well, she broke up our tour. We were a dance team, you know.
Yes, I
We
know.
got started during the war, entertaining the troops. And this last year, we were going great guns. Got terrific notices wherever we played. Then we were booked all over the continent.
I know all that. Get to the point, please.
Well, we just finished a very successful engagement in Paris at the Cafe Can-Can, and we're set with a swell booking in Madrid, when suddenly, out of a blue sky, Diana told me the tour was off.
Did she say why?
Only that she was going back home.
I see. So you quarreled.
Well, naturally, I hit the ceiling. We'd worked like dogs to get where we were, and now she was throwing it all away.
Are you sure she gave no other reason for calling off the tour?
Well, now that you mention it, I do recall her giving me some silly stuff about being in danger, but
In danger? Personally?
Yes, I didn't believe her, though. I thought...
Just a moment. What sort of danger did she say she was in? From whom?
Well, she said she didn't know, except it had something to do with that letter.
What letter?
Oh, some crazy letter she got hold of somehow. I don't know exactly. It was in French. Neither of us could read it, but Diana was curious. A few days later, she told me that when she tried to get somebody to translate it for her, she got into trouble.
That's odd.
Oh, it does sound goofy, doesn't it?
Yes, it certainly does.
Frankly, I didn't believe her. Even when she told me she'd got a couple of threatening phone calls.
Why didn't you believe her?
Well, I thought she was just making up a story as an excuse to break up our dance tour.
Oh?
Yeah, you see, she'd met an American millionaire in London who was crazy about her, so I thought she wanted to go back home and marry him.
I see. So
that's why we quarreled.
Mm-hmm.
I told her she was letting me down, and then I left. But I don't know a thing about her disappearance, so help me I don't.
Well, if that's true, why did you charter this plane and run away?
I didn't run away. The act was booked for Madrid and a lot of other places, and I didn't want to lose the booking. So I hired Yvette. That's the girl sleeping across the aisle.
I see.
She's a good dancer and looks something like Diana. I'm hoping I can keep the act going with her.
Well, look, about that letter you mentioned, it sounds pretty fishy, but I'd like to know more. Do you know where it is?
Well, I suppose Diana has it. Wait. Maybe it's still in the picture.
Picture? What picture?
Well, Diana always kept her money and valuables in a folding picture frame. You know, one of those double pictures that stand on a dresser.
Uh-huh.
She had photographs of her sister Lois and herself in the frames, and there was a false back behind it.
And she kept this letter in the false back?
That's right. I remember her getting it to show me.
Then it might still be in her apartment. All right, come on, Raymond.
Where?
You and I are going back to Paris. If you're telling the truth, this letter might be a lead to Diana. If not, well, we can be in Paris in a few minutes.
A few minutes? We're almost in Madrid.
That's right, but we're going back via Superman Express. Now, wake up Yvette and tell her you'll join her in Madrid later. If you've told me the truth. Hurry.
Oh, hey, what a trip that was, Superman.
Here's Diana's rooming house, Raymond. Come on inside.
Okay.
Now, we'll go right up to Diana's apartment. Lois should be there, and we can... Great Scott, what's this?
Somebody's lying on the floor.
Yes. It's old Jean, the concierge.
She's unconscious.
Yes, he was struck on the head. What in the world has happened here now?
Kneeling by the elderly caretaker who lies unconscious in the hall, Superman is not yet aware of a further startling development which is in store for him. We'll be back in a moment to find out what it is, so keep listening. to the adventures of Superman. Returning to the missing Diana's Paris apartment with Raymond, Diana's dancing partner, Superman discovered Jean, the elderly caretaker, unconscious in the front hall. And now he is trying to revive the old man.
Great Scott, look at that lump on his head.
Yeah, he was struck very hard, Superman.
Suddenly what? Uh-oh, he's starting to come to. Here, let me have that glass of water, Raymond.
Here you are.
Thanks. All right, now drink some of this, old fellow. Easy does it.
Wonder what happened here.
Yeah, we'll find out in a moment. Take it easy. There we are. Feeling a little better now, old-timer?
What? Oh, where is he?
Who? Easy now. Wait a minute. Don't try to get up yet.
But...
Now, just take it easy. Now, what happened? Who struck you?
A man. I do not know him. He wore a mask on his face.
A burglar, eh?
Hélas, I have forgotten. Vite, summon les gendarmes. Oh, la pauvre mademoiselle.
What? What poor girl? Whom are you talking about, Jean?
Oh, Mademoiselle Lane.
Which one?
Mademoiselle Diana's sister.
Lois? What about her?
Hélas, les gendarmes, summon les gendarmes.
What about Lois Lane? Tell me. I see she isn't in Diana's apartment, but what happened to her?
The man in the mask. He carried her away.
What? He carried Lois away?
Oui, I tried to stop him, but he struck me on the head with a gun, and then... Oof.
Great snakes. Oh, no. First Diana disappears. Now Lois is gone.
Say, what goes on here anyway?
First Diana, and now her sister Lois Lane have disappeared from the little boarding house in Paris. What has happened to the dancer and the girl reporter? What is the mysterious letter of which Raymond told Superman? The letter which Diana had said placed her in great danger. Is it upstairs in Diana's apartment? And will it lead Superman to the other two missing sisters? We'll find out in tomorrow's exciting episode, so be sure to listen. Tune in, same time, same station, for Chapter 4 of The Mystery of the Letter on The Adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Comics magazine and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time. Watch for the Superman Adventure serial, soon to be shown at your local movie theater. This program came from New York. Stay tuned to your mutual station for Adventure Parade, which follows in just a moment. And right after Adventure Parade, you will hear Tom Mix and his Straight Shooters. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.